Mr. Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here, Secretary Vilsack. Good to see you, a fellow Iowan from Dallas County. Dr. Johansson, thank you for being here, and Mr. Young as well. You are the longest-serving department secretary under this administration, and I'm glad you're still here. That tells me a few things. Hopefully it means you enjoy your job and you find it fulfilling and with joy, and also I know it means your support and commitment to agriculture and public service in general. So thank you for doing what you do. And of course, I want to thank you for all your support for renewable fuels, renewable energy, whether you use that from your bully pulpit or just your policies. I appreciate that very much. You know, in going around to the farm bureaus, the commodity group meetings in the district, town halls, the elevators and cooperatives, there's a real concern about the rural economy right now. And I know that, you know, we all hear that in a sense. You do too. Ag income is down. I believe, Dr. Johansson, you probably would have the better statistic, but I think it was about a third, at least in Iowa last year. Cash inputs are up, even though oil prices are down and fuel prices. Commodities are low, even though we've had just some record yields with corn and beans. Regulations, I hear, are squeezing the farmers, particularly from the EPA, not your jurisdiction, but you hear about it as well. Land prices are moving, perhaps not significantly one way or the other, up or down. Maybe they're just adjusting. So my question really is, what do you see happening out there in the agricultural economy? Is this a short-term situation, long-term, and how can we foster an economy to improve and renew strength in our agricultural economy?
Well, Congressman, would certainly we'll get you a copy of the briefing that I received recently about farm income and specifically about median household income in among farmers. You're correct. Farm income, net farm income is down. Median household income for commercial-sized operations that you're talking about, when you take a look at the non-farm income, is actually up a little bit. So, and then the heartland has been hit less so than some of the other areas of the country. The Northern Crescent has been hit pretty hard. The Fruitful Rim has been hit hard, but we'll get this information to you. Look, it's about increasing export markets. That's why I think trade agreements are important. It's why I think having personnel in Cuba eventually will provide opportunities. It is about what happens not just in the United States but around the world. You know, China's economy has obviously impacted and affected our export situation with China. It's about the strength of the dollar, which is a reflection of many things, but it's a reflection of the strong American economy versus other global, other countries' economies. It's creating additional ways in which product can be used, and that's why I have been supportive of the renewable fuel industry and the renewable energy industry, and why we are now branching out to the bio-based industry, where we're essentially looking at ways in which we can use ingredients, waste product from agricultural enterprises to produce chemicals, materials that are bio-based. It's currently a $369 billion industry, 4 million people employed, but we think we can build on that. It's creating new ways to encourage utilization of land in a more profitable way. The need for ecosystem markets, water markets, habitat markets are creating new opportunities for resources to be invested in farmland. And it's also the local and regional food system, which is, interestingly enough, helping out some of the residential and intermediate-sized farming operations. So it's a combination of all that and much more. You know, we are focused on making sure that the safety net is there. We made $5.2 billion in payments under the ARC and PLC program to nearly 45% of our producers in 2015. One would expect, if commodity prices remain where they are, that those will be additional expenses or additional investments that will be made for our producers. And while the land values are being affected, the good news is that we are significantly better off than we were in the 1980s, when we had very difficult times with low commodity prices, high debt, and lowering values of equity. That's not the case here. There's a significant difference between this time and the 1980s.
Thank you for that. And I want to thank you for working with our office. We're doing an agriculture and transportation roundtable here later this month back in the district. It'll be a productive conversation, I hope, regarding the issues our farmers, ranchers, and producers encounter regarding getting their goods to market. There's been some interruptions in transportation, which has regarded that, ports, the rail, that kind of thing. We put some language in the last year's conference report, FY16, contained language directing the Secretary to submit a long-term infrastructure plan that benefits American producers and provides examples of how USDA is working with other federal agencies to prevent future transportation mishaps. Now, I know it's not your direct mission, but there's such a nexus there between getting our goods to market and having a strong transportation infrastructure. I just am curious about any kind of update on that plan, and any foresight you see in improving that.
Well, at the time that was passed, we still had not yet had a transportation bill. The good news is that Congress has provided the 5-year transportation funding, which I think will make a difference in terms of the concerns and barriers that you are concerned about and that we're concerned about in terms of how to get product to market more quickly and more efficiently, less expensively, and provide a competitive edge for our producers. We're in the process of factoring all that into a report back to you, and we'll be getting it soon. But the fact that we now have a transportation bill obviously is going to change the conclusion. If we had not had a long-term transportation bill, then the conclusions might have been a little bit different.
I recognize that was on us, and hopefully we're on our way. Thank you for being here.
You bet.